Out from the jazz hands. Oh God, if you all start trying to do group dancing, I would just sit still and wait for you to finish. I'd just be like,
the only time that Dave Angel looks uncomfortable.
yeah, dancing is 100% it. Like, I genuinely, I watch people dance and I'm just like, I know you're enjoying it, but I feel uncomfortable watching you dance.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to MindsetBros Unfiltered. It's episode 4. Every time I come in, we have changed something. And the thing we've changed today is we've got a 4th camera. I'm waiting for the day that we upgrade the host, but at the moment I'm still here. And I've also got a co-host, which we haven't upgraded yet, and it's Mr. Ross Taylor. Hi, Ross.
Welcome, mate. I'm back.
Welcome back.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, mate.
Good. And we've also got a special guest. We have, I noticed to my right, which is Mr. David Angel. Hi, David. How you doing?
I'm good. Looking forward to today.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Really appreciate you coming on. So I don't know you that well. I know you a bit. We've met a few times.
We have.
Briefly. So really, we wanted to just open the floor to you first and just sort of ask you, what's your sort of view on mental health and sort of what's brought you here? How did you access MindsetBros?
It's a loaded question for you.
Yeah, it's a loaded because you're trying to condense so much into such a small period of time.
You've got time.
So, yeah, so I'm a sales and business coach. The only reason I'm a sales and business coach is because I fucked everything up in my life, lost everything through drink and drugs, nearly cost me my life. And someone literally phoned me and said, hey, sorry to hear you lost everything. Are you still any good at sales? And I genuinely, at that point, I was just come out of, I'm about 6 months sober, 6 months off drink and drugs, 6 months of giving up smoking, on my ass, lost my home, everything. And I was like internally broken. And I'm like, I genuinely don't fucking know.
Would you call that rock bottom?
No, that wasn't rock bottom. Was lay on my floor with a load of tablets around me. Like before that, this was coming out. You know when it's the sun's not quite breaking through, but it's not quite night.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to this guy's office, and sales was always something I was really good at. And I think it was the only thing muscle memory wise I was still any good at. And we had to make 38 grand in a couple of days. And it just fucking lit me up. And from there, it moved into more and more. And then lockdown was a blessing for me because everyone moved into Zoom. And so then I went to that stage. And so for me, falling into what I do now is only because of what I do now. But the mental health side, we joked about it earlier. I genuinely used to think mental health was a load of old shit.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely did. And I think,
do though, to be fair.
Yeah, massively. But I think it's a lack of education. I think it's a lack of awareness. I think there's the old school mentality of fucking be a geezer.
Yeah.
And also, for some stupid reason, I thought I could self-medicate through a guy in a Vauxhall fucking Corsa 5 nights a week and work out what mixed chemicals he chucked into a little bag would actually fix my life. And it worked for a long time. So for me, mental health has been a really weird journey because I am very pro mental health. I really, really am. But I also think when your radar is so fucking off, you don't have a clue. Your brain will convince you of either the right or the wrong. Whatever you believe, you'll find the answers to.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I had. So everything I believed, because my radar was off, led me to the conclusion that I would find evidence to support it. So when I thought mental health was a load of old shit, I found the evidence to support it.
Yeah.
And it was when I got on a good path, and now I'm well over 6 years sober and clean and all the other jazz and life's good, I'm such a strong advocate for it. And as you guys, there's some great guys in Portsmouth, United Minds and other people, and I've spoke at Mindset Maintenance in Portsmouth, and I do as much as I can because I genuinely know that for the vast majority of guys, unfortunately, they don't reach out, they don't look for help, they don't know where to help, and they're normally surrounded by fucking idiots that are the like-minded. And they're not fucking idiots, but do you know what I mean? It's just the same.
The journey that you've been on as well, though, Dave, I think is, I find with a lot of mental health stuff, in my opinion, is relatability.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's not a lot of people that could do what you do when it comes to relatability, if you know what I mean, because, you know, you have been, you know, an addict, you know, you've done the drink, you've done the drugs, you've done the smoking, you've lost everything, you had it and lost it, and then you've had to rebuild it. And I think when we first had a deep and meaningful conversation, I think that was something that I found incredibly inspiring because I didn't know that about you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I knew Dave the sales angel. I didn't know Dave Angel.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think I suffer massively with the ups and downs. My ups are so fucking high. Here's the problem I've genuinely got with mental health. My highs are so high that when my anxiety is low, suffer massive anxiety. When my anxiety is low and I'm on form, I will fucking annihilate most people in my industry. It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
But with the yin comes the fucking yang.
Of course.
You cannot get the highs of a roller coaster without having the dips to get the speed.
Yeah.
And so I accept that, and now my life is in a fantastic place. But I think if I talk to people about anxiety and they're like, oh, you don't seem like the type of guy. And I'm like, well, we just have this image of what that guy is.
Exactly, of course.
And I think it's only when you realise and you can put a mirror to yourself that you notice everyone else and you look at everyone differently. And the things you used to look at someone and think they're arrogant, they're cocky, they're a prick, they're Larry, they're staring at me. And you suddenly realise they're not. So I see people now and I'm like, that guy's fucking in pain. He's staring at me, not because he wants to fight me. He's completely uncomfortable. When we were at the place in Shanklin, all the guys were stood around by the pool table.
Yeah.
And I was going up to people and going, do you know anyone? No. Right. You go fucking talk to him. Because all the guys are stood in a room and everyone's there because we want to talk to each other. But we're all stood in. We look like miserable pricks. Because we're all just stood there, frosty faced, not smiling, not because we're expecting someone else to make the effort.
Do it for us.
Someone else, and if someone does, everyone lights up. And like, we've got to be the fucking light.
100%.
And if we don't, we all just stare at each other thinking we're miserable pricks, but internally we're not.
And we want to be there, and we're there for a reason. So how do you get over that hump if you were in that?
Be the fucking guy that shakes the hand.
Yeah.
Be the guy that puts your fucking hand out. Be the guy that you need. Because I genuinely believe this. If you become the guy that you need, you will find it. There was a really interesting study before, and they had, say there was 100 people in this room, right? And everyone's got, you write your name on the balloon. You might have done this at Interaction. Maybe. And everyone throws the balloon. And if they're like, go and find your balloon, no one can find it because you're looking for one balloon. Balloon. But instead, what they next said was, pick up the first balloon you find and find that person. Then everyone just had to find one person with the name rather than trying to find one name in 100.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's true, right? And you're like, but if I'm that guy, so I now purposely, my kids laugh at time. I tell people I love them all the time. Random people in the shop. Today, a woman cried. This is good. I brought some women shopping today. Not because I wanted to come on a podcast and talk about it, but I was in Marks and Spencer's. I'm paying. You know when they've got a stupid self-service, and it's on the payment screen. Her stuff's in the basket. She swiped it. She stood at the side with her head on her hands, mid-60s. Instantly, I'm like, she obviously can't pay for it for whatever reason. And I just said, you all right? And she's, oh, my bloody bank up. Whatever she said. I just went over and paid. And I didn't want to wait around and talk to her. Yeah. Ironically, we're talking a podcast now, so it's fucking spoke about. But I didn't, I was like, don't worry, it's nice to do good things. And we're like, if we all can do those little things, hold the door, do the things, say hi, go out for a walk and talk, say good morning to fucking 5 people. And you do that for 30 days. Every time you see that person, they remember you.
Of course they will. 100%. I completely agree with that.
I'm sat here now because I started going for a walk on a Saturday. I was doing no steps on a Saturday morning, on a Saturday at all. And I thought, do you know what, on a Saturday morning before work, I'm going to get out and just do an hour walk. And then I started inviting people, and Pete came along. And then Ross, a few months later, said, do you want to be part of Mindset Bros and do the walk for Mindset Bros? I said, yeah. 6-7 months later, now I've got a podcast. Exactly. They're letting me do a podcast. I should say. But I suppose my question for you then is, if you're in that low stage, or if you were in that low stage, say 6-7 years ago, and you were going to a networking event, how do you get over the hump? Right. Helps?
So this is some shit I've learned from people before. I suffer massive anxiety. So if I go to a networking event, I'm fine if I'm talking. If I'm speaking on stage, I'm shit on stage. I'm shitting myself when I'm on stage. But the rest of the time, I have a purpose. I'm there for people. Why are you here? Because I'm be talking on stage later. So I talk to people, blah, blah, blah. If I've been asked to go and speak, it's because I can bring value to the room. So automatically, that's why I'm here. If I go to a normal event and people are, why are you here? I'm like, I fucking know. So I don't have a purpose.
No, for sure.
And if I don't have a purpose, I have no fucking execution because I'm just floating down the river. So then I was watching, I do quite a bit of personal development. And the guy that was interviewing it, there were 2 guys chatting, and one guy's like, I go to networking events, I'm suffering with anxiety. What do I do? He went, you've got to fill the gap. He said, when are you most anxious? And he's like, well, when I see someone, I go to walk to them, I just get filled with dread. He said, well, you don't need to worry about the event. You need to worry about where the dread is. So let's say I walk in the room now and there's 100 people in that room. I've got to just pick one person to go and talk to.
Mm-hmm.
The dread comes from I've made eye contact and now I'm walking to you.
Yeah.
And the guy was, well, what do I do? So he'd say, what you got to do is look them in the eyes, keep them eye contact, and in your head go, what colour are his eyes? His eyes are brown. And by the time you've got to them and put your hand out, you've given them enough eye contact and you've had something to fill the gap.
Yeah.
Anxiety's coming because we're thinking about the wrong shit. So if we can fill our time with the right thoughts, it becomes easier.
Just breaking it down as well, though, isn't it? I mean, I love networking.
Feel that void.
It's not for everybody, and some people hate it with a passion. And, in the industry I work in, I'm very lucky. I see it as a privilege because I love networking, and most of the guys that I work with don't love networking. So it's always me that gets kind of thrown into that networking circle all the time.
I think
but when you go in to those networking rooms, you're absolutely right. Because if you go in and go, I've got to speak to every single person in that room, your anxiety is going to be up here because you've already
You're setting an impossible task.
Whereas if you go, there's 5 people that are going to be in that room, and if I can get a chance to add 5 people that I'd love to talk to, your anxiety is already going to be here because it's a manageable task.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people as well, people really try to fuck it. They go in with such stupid ideas, like playing football, going, I want to score 10 goals today.
Yeah.
Fuck me, why don't you score 1 goal?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, go to a networking event and go, I'm going to talk to the 5 quietest people.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to anyone who's looking,
Lost.
anyone I see looking at the ground or on their phone, I'm going to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've then got to do is bridge a gap on what you're actually going to say. Because what most people do, all right, yeah. But you're fucking not giving anyone it. You're not giving them anything to work with.
Yeah. Come here often.
Hello. What's your name?
What you doing?
John. What's yours? Steve.
What are you doing here?
Staring at each other. Good to see you, mate. But if you walk up to them and you have an intention behind it, like, for example, if you're going to walk up to someone and you're going to look for an item of clothing that they fucking got on, a watch, a hat, a pair of fucking shoes, give them a compliment. Do you know what I mean? Ask them a question or be side by side. I think with a lot of conversations, people stand face to face and it's very me and you, and we become in a bubble. But if I'm side by side and me and you are talking, it is easy to talk about a scenario and we're looking at the same stuff then.
Yes.
And it's the same as when we're doing stuff in sales. It should be less me at you, you at me. It should be us talking about a problem or a situation. And I think for a lot of people, we just don't plan anything. We just fucking turn up.
Which is me today. But yeah, I genuinely think that most things are a skill, and you can learn a skill and you can get better at a skill. And networking's a skill. One of the things I learned was that when I first started looking into networking a few years ago, if you're stood side by side, or there's 2 people stood side by side, they're open to somebody else in as well.
That's right.
But if you're face to face, don't interrupt them. They're in the middle of something, don't go up to them. But if they're open like that, there's a space for a third, and I'm quite happy to be the third. And I normally walk up and go,
Third wheeler.
all right. Well, no, I don't.
I'll start randomly laughing in a corner.
You know what he's
Great.
recently?
Where's the brown?
Yeah. Recently, though, he's been walking up and going, all right, yeah, my name's Baz.
All right.
I've got my podcast.
Yeah, have you seen my podcast?
Successful podcast host.
No, I love that. And yeah, all 3 of us actually work in sales. So this is the first time we've had a sales heavy podcast. So we've all got...
You can tell, can't you? Because everyone wants to talk at the same time.
Yeah. And we all believe we're right. But yeah, what I was going to ask as well then, so you've been to some of our events and you've seen sort of how full they are. Do you think that could be overwhelming as well if there are more people, or if it's easy?
I think the biggest problem for people is getting into the event. I think a lot of people turn up to the event and don't go in. But a lot of people drive and they get to the roundabout before where the event is and fucking go elsewhere. I think me and you spoke about it before when we talk about it. It's great doing different events in different locations, but people are looking for familiarity.
For sure.
Especially if your mental health's not in the best possible place. It's very easy to talk ourselves out of being involved in a situation. And you can do that by it being, I don't know where to go or where am I going? And I think once you then step in, you're not going in with a plan. I do it. We've done it at every event. I will fucking turn up. I will put some money behind the bar. I will say hello to 3 or 4 people, and then I will suddenly go walk off. And sometimes I'll say goodbye.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you just won't. All right. Do you know what, though? Like, it's one of the things that's always stuck in my head, I think. And I think it's such a massive thing for you to be able to do what you do. And when I say that, like, you've obviously had a problem before with drugs, and we have only ever had 2 people, to my knowledge, say, I'd love to come to one of your events, but you hold them in pubs and I'm an alcoholic. And I go, completely understand that. And I'm sorry that that's obviously something you struggle with. However, we do offer walk and talks. We do offer one-to-ones, and we do also now offer once every 3 months an activity-based, community meetup that is obviously
Such a good shout.
At the Tea Hut Golf. So yes, we may not be able to cater for you all the time, but you can't cater for everyone all the time. But one of the things that's always stuck with me is you walked into, it was actually at the Sun Inn in October last year, and I think you were maybe second or third in. I got there. I think you were closely followed, and you walked in and you said to Tom, who shout out to Tom at the Sun Inn, by the way, he's a lovely chap. But you said to Tom, can I have a tap water, please? And he brought you over a nice ice cold bottle of water, and you gave him a £50 note, and he went, no, it's fine, it's water. And then you just went, yeah, I know, but however long that money lasts, I'll buy the first drink for all the lads when they first come in.
Yeah.
And I just thought, not only do people not do that often enough, in my opinion, in the world that we're now in, whereas maybe 25, 30 years ago, that would have happened a lot more. But for someone who's a recovering addict, who's obviously had an alcohol problem, a drug problem, to be able to walk into that bar, be 110% confident that it's not for you, don't give a shit, it's not going to affect you, but also then to turn around and go, but that doesn't mean that no one else can enjoy a drink.
Oh, do you know what I think, though? I don't think alcohol's the fucking problem and drugs ain't the problem. I was the fucking problem.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I'll go with my mates now, just be absolutely clear, for fucking years, I didn't go around anyone drinking. I said to my mates, I ain't going to see you for at least 6 months to a year. I'm not going to come to any events. I'm not going to go to any parties. I'm not going to do any of it because I need to get myself right.
Yeah.
And when I got to the stage, it took time. This was not just walk into a pub. But then I got to the stage, I also got to the stage where my mental health got better. And I also realised my problem with drink and drugs was because mainly I missed my kids because I went from seeing them every day to only every other weekend and I lost my focus. By the way, my kids ever watch this back, this was never your fault. It was 100% on me.
Yeah.
100%. So I had a void in my life I tried to fill with drink and drugs. I'm now at the stage that it's been so fucking long, I have to give up 6 years worth of clean for one beer.
Yeah.
There is no beer on the planet that tastes so good to give up 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, my mates have been talking about it recently. I think for some people, you are an alcoholic or a drug addict for life. Is there a point I will never drink again? I don't know. Me and mates have had conversations recently. Is there a chance we might go on a bender? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go Vegas and we'll have a pie at some point. It ain't now.
The point of that is you'll never know.
No.
Yeah.
And I think if I made it really distinctive of I could never, ever, ever, I think it would be harder.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And so I think with a lot of it now, being at the stage where I also don't stay in pubs long enough that I get that temptation. I'll come in for an hour and I want to give my best hour that I've got rather than giving you a shit version of me for 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's the right thing to do. Whatever your capacity is in life, give the best you can for the time you can. And I don't care what other people can do.
Do you think the best version of you is sober you?
Yeah, massively. Massive. Not even a fucking glimmer. Not even a fucking glimmer of difference. I can go for 3 days, 4 days, and it's not fucking cool. But I used to really enjoy it. I had a lot of good fun. I'm not going to sit here and be like, fucking hell, I never had a good time on drinking drugs. I had loads of fucking great times. That's why I kept doing it. That's why I kept doing it, because I enjoyed it. But I enjoyed an hour out of a 36-day bender, really, and I tried to catch up with that. For me, now, waking up, when I'm tired and my kids want to play or want to talk, I'm not like, oh, I've fucking got nothing in me. I'm tired, I'm grouchy, I'm hungover, I'm gonna fucking come down and this and that, da-da-da-da-da-da. The version of me now is by no way perfect. I'm still a fucking idiot in so many areas. But it is by far the best example for my son is this version.
Yeah.
And it's also the best example for my daughter of what she should look for in a part. Is this version. And it doesn't mean there's not better examples for both out in the world than me. But if we take me now, an older version of me, I'm fucking 3.5 stone lighter. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. Go to bed at 10 o'clock pretty much religiously. I get up and work my ass off. All that stuff. That guy wasn't able to do that stuff because
Well, the capacity doesn't.
No, you just don't have us it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for the first part. We're going to take a little break here, hear from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this.
PC Consultants, the hugely successful Isle of Wight IT company, announces with great sadness the loss of Shan Coulson, their chairman and one of the company's original two founders, who alongside Mike Parsons gave the PC to PC Consultants. Shan had been the driving force in the success of the company since it was founded over 30 years ago, and instilled an ethos of providing opportunity for people irrespective of background and academic achievement, reflected in the company receiving the King's Award for Enterprise in 2025 at Osborne House, which Shan attended. Shan will be remembered not only for the success of the company he founded, but for the many charities, good causes and individuals that he has supported as a friend and a sponsor, including MindsetBros from the very beginning. A huge shock to everyone who knew him, and he will be sadly missed.
Hi guys, welcome back to MindsetBros Unfiltered. I'm with Ross and I'm with David, and we talked a little bit. Or is it Dave?
Whatever you like.
Yeah, my dad's a Dave. My best mate's a David, so I've got to be a bit. Yeah,
No, I was fucking best mate, wasn't I?
Hey, yeah, sure. Lovely rubbing you off already, look.
So I was going to ask you, Ross. You've obviously been on a journey with mental health.
Definitely.
Do you recognise different versions of yourself over time?
Yeah. I think we obviously touched upon a little bit of the history from episode 1, but I think growth, I mean, maturity and growth for me is definitely been a massive, game changer in segments of my life, I think, because, you'll remember obviously from our younger days, my sport was tenpin bowling. That was my life.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for a pretty nasty car crash, that would have probably still been a very big part of my life. But that, I think, was a segment of having to mature, if that makes sense, because my life was, 40 to 42 weekends a year on the mainland, traveling. My mum, bless her, followed me everywhere around the UK. We won competitions. We had great times. But when that was your life and I was bowling 5-6 times a week, and then all of a sudden gone, it was like, well, where does that, you said about filling a gap, well, there's a massive gap at that point in my life.
In your life, yeah.
So I went from a person that was really dedicated to a sport and really happy to then being in a place where I couldn't do what I'd loved anymore. So I felt like my personality changed completely because I was lost, for a good, probably 2-3 year period. And then with work, fell into work. And then again, obviously you become a salesperson. I think you're either a salesperson or you're not, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Yeah. But I love sales and I love property. I love doing what I do. But again, that changes your character again because you become a character, when you're selling. And, as much as you got to show your genuine self as well, you are always put on a performance because obviously you're trying to gain something from someone.
Hiding your weaknesses and showing your strength.
Yeah, exactly. So, then you look at becoming a dad, getting married, and I think all of those are different hats that you wear. And have I always liked the hats that I've put on? No. Some of them I prefer more than others, if that makes sense. But, I've been through divorce. I've, similar to Dave, I've gone from seeing my kids every day to not seeing my kids every day. Again, that was a hat that I was, I'm obviously still wearing that hat, if that makes sense. But that was a much harder hat to wear 3 or 4 years ago than it is today, because you come to terms in a roundabout way. You have to change and find ways of coping with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't cope with it, you go into that slippery slope and
spiral.
Spiral out of control, and you can go into a very, very dark place. And I spoke about it on episode 1, but there was definitely at least a 3-week period in 2022 where I didn't see the light at all. And I didn't think there was. I genuinely didn't think there was. I thought, I'm fucked. Yeah. And my mum was very, very close to, making some phone calls to, look at getting me some serious help, because I was living with her at the time and she just didn't know how to help.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a lot older. My mum's, sorry, Mum, but you are old. But, she's
your mum's older than you? No way.
Yeah. No, she's old. I didn't say older than her. I said
she's older.
No, I said she's an older mum is what I meant.
Okay.
So I'm 39. She's 75. But I think, with that gap, it was very, very difficult for her watching. I think it's always difficult for a parent to watch a child, isn't it, go through any sort of tragedy or trauma or whatever. But I don't think she was, don't be wrong, she was a much more of a rock for me than she will ever actually realise.
Yeah.
But I don't think she knew how to help. She knew how to comfort, but to help and comfort are two different things.
How to get you out of it.
Yeah. How to kind of go, right, this, you're down here, let's get you back out from there. That's a different thing to being able to go, like, it's going to be okay. That's completely different. So yeah, I think many personalities, to be honest, in 39 years, and I'm sure there's many more to come. But you know, as it stands now, similar to Dave has said, you know, that your version of himself is something he's very comfortable with. But you know, I've got a very, very supportive partner. I've got a great relationship with my kids. I've got a good job. So as much as I could sit here and look at a number of negatives as well, actually the positives, in my opinion, far outweigh the negatives. So you know, am I in a happy place? Am I happy with the hat I've got on right now? Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Dave, so when I've been in a hole, and it was fairly recently, it's much better now, I've felt nothing. So no anger, no sadness, no happiness. I couldn't feel anything. Have you been there? Have you been to that sort of place where you don't feel a thing?
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear you felt that way as well. Yeah. I always try to explain things in a clear way, and sometimes I think it's quite hard to. The way I look at it, have you ever seen the films when you've got someone in prison and you've got the plexiglass between?
Yep.
I think for me personally, when you're in a dark space, it's like you're always living in that muffled thing where someone could be 6 inches away, but it feels like a million miles away. And I think I can't comment for... I think personally, some people will fucking hate this, the way that men and women get therapy is completely fucking different. Guys need fucking purpose. Like, and if I don't have direction, if I don't have purpose, if I don't feel my place in the world is valid, if I don't feel like I add some value to someone and I can't identify it, it numbs me off. I don't feel angry about it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like I've just gone into sleep mode.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a fucking bear hibernating in the winter.
And you just want to go back to bed.
Yeah, because you've got no drive, you've got no focus. You're like, what the fuck is the point?
That's what COVID did to me.
Well, that's the problem for a lot of people, right? Is suddenly most of us don't know the real things that make us tick.
Yep.
We're exposed to them and we don't realize until it's gone that actually, fuck, my purpose was temping, but my identity was this. My purpose was that. Because sometimes our purpose isn't the big thing in our life.
No.
Our purpose often, I find, comes from really small things of significance.
Yep.
Really small, really fucking, you don't even notice them, but internally they add like a fucking lump of hot coal in your soul that keep you going for fucking weeks and months.
Do you think your purpose is quite often something you don't like doing as well? Because I find my purpose is doing the shit jobs around the house and going to work. Like, nobody really wants to go to work all the time, but if it gets taken away, you miss it, right?
I think it's hard to know, right? I think we move so many levers all the time, it's hard to know. Like, for me now, I think because the very thing that a lot of people dislike about me, I think is one of my best strengths. The people that really like me and I can't explain why. And the people that fucking hate me can give you 500 reasons of why they don't fucking like me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because of what I've gone through. I've got a very clear, very direct approach. Not a fuck you, fuck the world. But I'm very much good at calling people out on bullshit.
Yeah. You don't waste any time.
Yeah, I'm very direct. And I'm actually all right with it. I had a guy recently that got on a call and instantly, and this isn't like oh, look at me. But he got on a call. We've had to do a coaching call. And I was like, mate, something in your eyes, something's off. And he's like, yeah, Mason, I love you, by the way. He's like, yeah, no, I've just had a couple of really weird phone calls, like, just threw me off a bit. Let's just talk about it, like, blah, blah. And at the end of it, he was like, if you hadn't have done that for one little thing there, the whole other hour would have been wasted. We'd have gone through the motions.
And got nothing.
But nothing. He would have been behind the plexiglass.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so when we have that conversation, I think the little things like that, the little bits of difference that I can make, they're not massive monumental things that someone would say on my fucking funeral, oh my God, that was his big thing.
Yeah.
But I think, and I hope that when it comes to the end of my life, which is very, very long away, the things that people would say would be really small but really powerful things that really help them, which they could have easily not have happened.
Yeah. And I can give you an example of that, and you know this story. I grew a moustache for Movember.
Yes.
Part of a big group, and we raised something like $9,000 as a group.
Awesome.
There was about 20 of us. And I've met you maybe once at that point, maybe twice, and you donated 50 quid. You didn't have to do that. You just went on and did it. And like you say, I will remember that forever, but it won't be on your gravestone, but it'll be something that I remember about you, and it got me, it made my month, it made my year probably, if anything. So yeah, and I appreciate that a lot.
But it's so good, right? And it doesn't have to be money.
No.
Right? We've talked about a couple of things today. It's money-based. I'm fucking rich by any stretch. But it's not about money. And it's just not. And I genuinely think if I could press a button now and change one thing for most guys, is that we would all just do some random selfless fucking acts for people we don't fucking really know.
I love that.
If you do start doing shit that you don't know, hold the fucking door.
Yeah.
I bought the vicar. I'm not religious. Bought the vicar his shopping about 6 months ago. And he's you should come to church. I went, honestly, I'm not remotely religious, mate. I don't believe in all that jazz. Like, I'm happy and I salute what you're doing. And I love what you do because you do it for the community. And he's like, oh, this is pretty random. But it's such a random thing, right?
Yeah.
But actually holding the door for someone, saying hello. If you see someone who can't fucking work out how to use the parking machine, stopping and talking to them. See an old boy sat on the bench. Remember, there's going to be a point, especially for guys that are watching this now, there's going to be a point, and that's us.
Yeah.
We all know now what it's like to feel a bit lonely.
Yeah.
We all know now that we used to have 35 mates you hung out with all the fucking time. And now you've got 4 mates that you sort of talk to on occasions.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's going to be like when you're 70. There's guys now that you see sat on that fucking park bench on their own, looking at the floor, staring at teeth, feeding a fucking pigeon because they've got nothing else going on because they spent all their life trying to look after everyone else and now there's nothing for them.
Nothing left.
Now imagine if we all started talking to that guy on the fucking bench. Walk past, compliment his fucking shoes, ask him a question about something, ask him for some advice. Can you do me a favour? I'm 35, I'm an idiot. I'm 45, I'm a bit of an idiot. Give me advice. If you were 45 today, what would you do? Tell me some advice. Give me a fucking war story.
We've had a couple of, on the same hymn sheet completely, by the way. I think that is exactly what we all should be doing. But we've had on social media, your walk and, to be fair, Blake and Jake's walk. Like, the walk this morning had a guy arrive who was on holiday, right? Who, had just seen, obviously, MindsetBros online, seen the impact that we've been having on the community. And he messaged, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Are these walks on every week?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, every week without fail. Like, these are the walks we do, blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Brilliant. I'm coming down in 2 weeks on holiday. I'll be there."
Nice.
And I just thought, like, that's actually quite mad when you think about it. But then another lady, and we get a massive amount of female support, which I just think is amazing as well. On all sorts, on the podcast, on the comments and stuff. But a lady, again, I think it was actually Blake and Jake's walk again, to be fair. And she commented on there and she was like, just wanted to say massive shout out to you guys. I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. And you're always so happy.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, the perception of what people probably think we are is completely opposite to...
I'm just going to steal Blake's thunder there because that was our walk.
Was it your walk? All right.
I know that because she was in French Franks.
Oh, yeah. No, not French Franks. No, that's another one, though. That's not. I'll bring you in. I'll let you have a little bit of glory in a minute.
Yeah.
But no, this lady was walking along Sandown seafront. But then obviously, a lady mentioned, didn't she, about her and her daughter.
Yeah.
Both work at French Franks, who we don't mention. She said that obviously you guys were always so happy as well.
Yeah,
it's just nice. It's nice to get that feedback.
Very
and
nice.
Obviously, I look after obviously the social media with Blake, and I actually see it as quite a privileged position because I get to see all those. I appreciate you guys don't necessarily see that,
Not
but
all of it.
when you see the stuff that comes in, sometimes you just think people just reach out and go, "Do you know what? It's amazing what you're doing."
Yeah,
and it's lovely.
I get it weekly indeed.
Yeah.
Stuff as well. It's really nice.
It's so good.
So, just on the comment about sort of as you get older and you become this old chap sat on a bench, I think something that men go through a lot is those changes in personality. I used to be young, believe it or not, young, slim, good looking,
never as young as me, though.
and sporty, and now I'm overweight. My hair's all falling out. Your life changes, and
You need to stop being so hard for yourself.
Thanks, mate. The people you meet view you in a different way, and so they're not going to come to you for that kind of advice because they sort of think, no, you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's true. I don't think they don't want to come to your advice. We are in a world now where there's so much fucking advice. Everyone gets lost in the fucking... We're all stood in the shadows. Everyone is stood in... No one is stood in the fucking sunshine. No one is. Everyone is stood in the shadows. Everyone is. We now see thousands of people every day on social media and everyone gets a fucking crumb.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a crumb. you don't realize how many people look at you and actually do listen to you.
Yeah.
You don't know how many times you've walked in and done a thing, and because it wasn't acknowledged or you didn't notice it, but you haven't impacted someone. So stop fucking doing that.
Okay.
Because that's what fucking annoys me.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it fucking annoys me. Is because you see the older version of you as if it was this thing. It's fucking bollocks. It is, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Because we see it as, that was your favourite version of you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean if we went on the scales and when we did a tally of 1,000 people from when you were 20, you might well find out on that tally, everyone didn't fucking like you as much as they do now.
Maybe.
I think you come across as a fucking genuine, trustworthy, kind, polite guy. The fact that you're losing your hair has got fuck all to do with it. If you're overweight, you're not enjoying it, lose the fucking weight.
Yeah.
But actually, you're probably quite fucking happy where you are in a lot of areas.
Yeah. Generally.
And you probably impact far more people that you don't realise because you don't look for the fucking validation from it. You do the thing and you get on with your life. And I think that's the big difference. Is you, instead of doing the thing and being like, anyone see what I just did?
Yeah.
You just do the thing and you do it naturally and more consistently. So you do more things that are genuinely impacting people because you don't look for the validation, but then you forget all the good things that you do.
I appreciate
Fucking
that.
stop it.
Well, the thing as well, just one last thing on that is
telling people
you get, but you also, I mean, you do, especially since you've been doing the podcast, to be fair, which, is absolutely your forte, by the way. Just blow a little bit of smoke up your ass.
I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah. You do all of a sudden, you're like, the egos. Yeah. But, no, but genuinely, I mean, like the feedback you've obviously got from like, family, friends, old business clientele and stuff like that. But they are just the ones that are telling you, and what Dave is absolutely correctly saying is that you don't see the ones that aren't telling you.
No, true.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're impacting that big circle of people because you know that you're impacting them because they've told you, think about how much bigger the circle is for those that are impacted by what we're doing or what you're doing or what you're saying that aren't ready to tell you yet.
It's profound. And
Can I just touch on that? Do you remember see the thing about people talking about complaints? Like someone goes to a restaurant and complains.
Yeah.
They'll complain like 25, 30 people. Think of it on the flip side.
How many don't?
How many times someone talks about, I spoke to, fucking hell. And a lot of us, we don't say it, but we remember it. Yeah. You think about how many guys ever we talk about, you only get your flowers when you fucking die. Yeah, okay, it's fine, it's true. Mm-hmm. But how many people internally have a soul? How many times have guys typically get given a compliment? And when you get given a compliment, you remember that motherfucker for a long ass time. True?
Yeah. 100%.
So now think about how many times have you done a thing, given a compliment, and internally the person was so caught off guard, they didn't know how to fucking say thank you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, appreciate it. They just went, all right. And then later they were driving home and thought, can't believe he said that.
That's nice.
Yeah. I'll get a message from Baz tonight. He'll be like,
but it's true, right?
Dave said about me on the podcast.
But it's true, right? So when we kick you, by kicking you in the arse in that point, and you go, fucking hell, I'm actually fucking all right. How many times you've done that elsewhere? You'll never fucking see the ripples of our impact.
No. Yeah.
You won't. Because we didn't skim the stone to get the fucking, the applause. We just did the thing because it was the right thing to do.
100%.
I love that.
The message is, guys, believe in yourself more. But right now, we're going to take a little break, and we'll see you in 5.
The Kids & Co. clothing company was founded in 1993 and is a family-run service supplying embroidered, printed and general school uniform to the local parents and to schools around the UK. Our on-site embroidery and printing studio allows us to provide a fast and efficient service for our retail business and also to the schools around the country that we wholesale to.
Welcome back to the final part of episode 4 of Mindset Bros Unfiltered. I'm trying desperately not to do jazz hands, but I'm joined still by Dave and Ross. Ross, we've got a bit of an announcement, haven't we? We've been talking about it a lot on social media, but we've got a new walk.
We have, 5th walk of the week, which is, on the way to where we want it to be. Obviously, we'd love to get 7 walks a week.
Yeah.
One a day would be the dream. Friday mornings at 7:15 a.m. down at the Gurnard Beach Huts.
Nice.
Just down by the Woodvale with Mr. Fawley or Mr. Yummy, a.k.a., as he likes to be called. He's reached out. He does a lot of walking, averages about 28,000 steps a day or something ridiculous. He loves getting out and walking, so it was perfect. He was like, look, I'm ready. The guy's transformation over the last 9 months to a year.
He's been sharing some pictures.
Is incredible. I think he's like 4.5 stone down.
Yeah.
But again, knocked alcohol and, that kind of stuff on the head, completely transformed his life. Fair play to him. And he waited for the right time. I spoke to him about it, briefly. months ago, but I don't think that he was in the right headspace, and I think he's done an incredibly good job getting to the right headspace to then reapproach and go, I'm ready.
Yeah, good.
So,
Paul, to you, welcome to the team. I know someone who came on a walk with you recently, and he said you said something that really hit a chord with him, or struck a chord with him. So thank you for joining us. Welcome. There's 5 a week now.
5 a week, mate.
Every single week. So if anyone wants to show up for a walk, they're always on. And even if the main person can't be there, there'll be somebody there making sure it still happens. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, didn't mean for this podcast to descend into Let's All Love Barry.
Barry Big Books.
It's been brilliant, no. So what I want to know is, what else do you love about me? No, I'm joking.
Talk about me. Well, your hair. I love your hairline.
Thank you. Yeah, well, yes, you would, yeah. Low bar.
Oh, I know. No, it's actually quite a high bar for me, to be fair.
It's very high bar. Bar's gone. Speaking of bars, Dave, is there anything about you that you wish you didn't do? Because you told me off and told me to not do that to myself. Is there something about you that you think, like, I wish I did that less?
One of the big hurdles I've got, I was talking to my girlfriend about this recently, is I'm really strong on doing personal development. But I genuinely feel like I've really fucked my body up, like my brain. Like now, when I'll learn something now, and I'm really good at implementing, really, really quick. I'm a good problem solver. And I know I am. I've learned that skill. But a lot of the stuff I learn, it fucking falls out like a holy fucking sieve all the time. And I find stuff, and I'll implement stuff, and I'll make changes, and suddenly it'll be 2 months down the line. I'm like, fuck. How did I forget that? And I do that a lot. And then that causes me a lot of stress, because what I feel like I'm doing is, imagine if we've got this water as a little hole. I feel like I'm always fucking it takes me effort to maintain it at that level a lot. And I find that quite tiring. And so when things are great, it's really good. But I do get in my own head. And I do find that hard. Like, I have a real desire. It sounds so knobby. I had a realization about 5 years ago that if me and you are out at sea, and I talk about this story quite a lot to clients, if we're out at sea and we fall off a boat, the boat fucking sinks or whatever. If there's 2 versions of that story, one where I'm on my own and one where it's me and someone else, I will make more effort because there's someone else there, because I want to save them than I would someone else. And I think a lot of guys go for that. And I think that's damaging, because you don't have, although I like myself and I do like the version of me now, I will still fuck myself up to help other people. And it's ironic, because there's certain people in the world, and just to be clear, I'm fine with certain people disliking me, who will paint a picture of me that I'm like the devil. And I'm like, fuck me. Do you know how much easier my life would be if I was a complete arsehole and didn't actually care?
David Devil.
Yeah. There's many names. So for me, a lot of that stuff can trip me up, and it gets in my head, and it does slow me down from my potential. But then I also think, fucking hell, cut yourself some slack, mate.
Yeah.
Like, what's the fucking goal here?
But we load ourselves up, don't we? I think I think as men, we carry that burden, and we put the weight, of life on our shoulders.
We hold the negative we give the negative too much weight. A pound of negativity feels like a fucking ton.
I completely agree.
And it's hard to get rid of it.
We protect others from it.
Of course we do.
Our kids, our
100%. Yeah, I mean, there might be stuff going on, and you think, well, I'm not going to trouble them with that, because then the burden goes on to them as well. So you end up carrying the burden yourself. And this is the whole we all need to talk more thing, isn't it? I mean, if you're talking more, yes, okay, you might be sharing the burden, but actually, if that person's burden can be halved or quartered, or a little bit,
or get some perspective on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
perspective on the burden.
I think this is the big thing for me personally. And again, I am not a fucking expert on this stuff, and you guys can disagree if you like. I don't believe in sharing the fucking burden as much. I think this is different in perspective, and it's giving people help and ideas to go and fix the fucking shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Getting rid of it and talking about stuff can help. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Not feeling alone can help.
But there's people out there that know more than you, or have better resources, or know somebody who can help. And if you just speak, someone will.
Yeah, and I think that's half the thing, right? Everything's patterns, good or bad. From the way we fucking date, the way you cook your dinner, the way that you go for a walk, the way you drink fucking coffee. Like, everything's a pattern. The way you cut your food is exactly the fucking same.
The type of spoon you like using.
The type of cup you like to hold, the way you like it's all patterns. And I think the problem is for a lot of us, and we are all guilty of it, is a lot of the time we go, I don't like the way my life is going, but we haven't changed the pattern behind it. And so the familiarity of the bad, damaging shit is better because it's the devil you fucking know. So we don't want to change it because we're like, yeah, I know, but like, might be a fucking idiot and do all this wrong, but I know what to expect.
Yeah. You know the outcome.
And I think sometimes just talking about, I don't like it because I'm an idiot because of this, isn't like, you've got to be in a position where you're prepared to fucking, even if it's an inch, like you're better, like one of my favorite phrases is, what you're not changing, you're choosing. And if you've got the same problems, but you're not taking small incremental steps, however small, it can be an inch, but you are moving forward. It is still fucking progress.
That's right.
And the problem is, I think a lot of the time when we've got into a victim mindset, which I've been guilty of myself, I'm like, well, why can't someone fix this for me? Well, because it's no one else's fucking job.
Yeah.
So I think it's both, right? Just relieving burden doesn't help.
It's finding solutions to problems. Isn't it?
Yeah, or give him perspective.
Yeah, or give him perspective.
Give him new glasses. Like if we take your fucking glasses off now, your vision's fucked. So is mine.
Yep.
But my vision's fine now. Give me a book. I'm fucked. But give me a pair of glasses with a different fucking lens. I can see differently.
Exactly.
And a lot of us need to put different lenses. This is why what you do is good. Because you get to have conversations and mix with different people.
Yeah.
You can't sit in a room and be like, everything's going to be fucking great. You're sat in the dark, I'm going to manifest the fucking world. Manifestation is with action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, have a good plan. I'm going to be fucking rich. Sweet. Don't sit and wait for a pot of gold just to turn up in the fucking front room.
No one's going to come and save you.
No one's coming.
You have to save yourself.
Do you know how we know no one's coming? I'm 46 now. No one fucking came. No one came to save me. No one come to fix my shit because everyone's got their own problems. And this is where I think the hard thing we have to remember as guys, especially as guys, it's not because your mates don't fucking care. It's because they've got their own shit to deal with. They're carrying their own bricks.
Yeah.
Their backpack a lot of the time is already full and they can't carry anymore. So we've got to carry our own fucking bags.
Yeah.
And we've got to put the backpack on. We've got to climb the fucking hill. We've got to keep moving forward. Because if we don't, you stay at the bottom of the fucking mountain crying your eyes out.
Yep.
And if it's an inch or a mile, whatever the bricks are in your bag, if you can get someone to take some of them bricks for you, amazing.
Yeah.
But just because someone's not taking your fucking bricks doesn't mean they don't want to.
Yeah.
Some people are really fucking struggling inside. And just because you're struggling doesn't mean I'm not.
No, exactly.
And a lot of people, when we're struggling, we think, why doesn't someone help me? I'm going through all this shit. But then you suddenly realize he had fucking cancer. She had that. They had this. And you suddenly go, fuck. Fuck.
Yep.
And I think that's the big thing for us as well.
Yeah. I love that.
That's a rant, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. We got time for rant. Ross, same question to you then. You didn't know this was coming either, but is there something, I mean, I could list 100 things, but is there something that you do that you wish you did less?
There's 100 things you wish Ross did less.
1,000. Yeah, I said 100 because I was
nice. Some of those you can't talk about on the podcast. Is there anything that I do that I wish I did less?
Yeah, something negative that you do.
Yes, I think I'd love to have more patience with my kids. So, in a roundabout way, yes, because for me, it's very difficult. I mean, I see my kids, 8 times, 9 times a month, which I'm fortunate in compared to some. So I don't see that as a negative. I see it as a positive. But I find that, especially like weekends when I'm seeing them Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, taking them to school on Monday, you always have that period where you get settled again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not like a case. I mean, they're my kids. Like, I love them dearly. They love me dearly. We've got an amazing relationship. Don't be wrong, but it's not a case of you pick them up on a Friday night and it's back to normal behaviour again, if that makes sense. They're excited to see Daddy. Daddy's obviously excited to see them. So moods are like all over the place, and it might not be until Saturday afternoon that you go, right, okay, let's actually enjoy some time together.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I find that sometimes I can be overly snappy with them when I don't want to be. Like, I really don't want to be. And I get really frustrated with myself.
Right.
I'll snap, and then I'll be like, fuck's sake, I've done it again. Like in my head, not out loud. But I'm like, fuck's sake, what is your problem? But it could be anything. I mean, it could be that I've had 2 or 3 tough days at work, for example, or you could have,
running late.
Whatever it may be, but it comes out. And
I mean, in fairness, sometimes your kids, kids are fucking knobs as well.
Do it on purpose.
They just be honest as well. They beat yourself up on this shit. Sometimes they do mad stuff
to see.
And we want to be better as dads. That's 100%. But there's sometimes there's a reason why.
My little tip on that is if you tell Jordan, my oldest, if you tell him we're running late, he slows down.
Right.
So I just don't tell him anymore. I'm like, come on, mate, we got loads.
We had it at the weekend. I mean, we had an amazing weekend, and obviously, Chelsea and I've obviously just come back from Italy. One of my favourite things we've done in Italy was we done a pasta and tiramisu class, right, on how to make fresh pasta and stuff. And I love cooking, as most people know. And I just thought, do you know what? Like, this is fucking so simple. And I want to teach my kids how to do this.
Yeah.
Right. So I went on to Amazon, bought a £40 pasta machine. We were staying in a little cottage in Shankston this weekend, just gone with the kids. So I'm like, right, we're doing a pasta making class with the kids. Right.
Nice.
And I was really looking forward to it. Chelsea was really looking forward to it. Kids obviously didn't know because it was a surprise. We're making it, right? And anyway, so we had a lovely time. The whole experience probably lasted about an hour and a half because there's 5 of us. We've got one machine. So obviously I'm having to show everybody how to do it and blah, blah, blah. We had a lovely time. And then like Rocco, my son, he's just an incredible little lad, 5 years, he's 5 years old. He's just a proper boy, proper lad. But he was just being testing, shall we say, all day on Saturday. And there was one point, and it was about 6 o'clock at night, something like that. And I really regretted it afterwards, but we do these things, right? And I walked away, and he'd done something, and I walked away, and I thought I'd muttered it underneath my breath. I didn't. And I just walked away, and I was like, dickhead.
No.
And he went, Dad? And I went, yeah? And he went, what did you say? And I went, nothing, mate. And luckily it wasn't loud enough for him to feel.
Nothing. Nothing. Dickhead even.
But that was how I felt.
Yeah.
Because I thought, fuck me, you are literally just pressing my buttons.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do these nice things for you.
Look what I've done for you, and you've done little.
These are even like, look what I've done for you. I don't need the recognition from them, if that makes sense.
No.
But just realise that you are doing nice stuff. Like, there's kids out there that have got fuck all, and I'm not talking about Ethiopia, I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
There's kids out there that are not lucky enough to go out and be able to do stuff and, have mums or dads around and whatever else. And I'm like, it's something I really try to get across to my kids. Like, just realise what you have and be grateful. Like, gratuity is, for me, massive.
Well, you've actually, sorry to cut you off, you've actually linked really well into the final question, and I didn't prep Dave for this, and I have prepped a guest for this before, but I'll ask it in a long-winded way. But we talk a lot about gratitude and how you should sort of look for the positives in things. During your journey, and you've come a long way in the last 6 years, as you say, can you think of 3 people in your life that you'd like to sort of give a bit of a shout out that have given you a little bit? It can be more than 3. It can be less than 3.
When we were saying earlier about the small things that people did, I don't, like, one of my dearest friends, Rachel, like, she's like a sister to me, and she's been amazing. She's done so much for me. So 100% her. But I think there's probably 10, 15 different people that in a certain moment in time, a very small thing that they did made a massive difference, and they wouldn't even register the thing they've got. We were talking about our kids earlier. Yeah. I think back to my childhood. And my big memories from my childhood, my dad wouldn't even, and not because my dad was bad, he was a good guy. He's a good guy. I said it like past tense. He's a good guy. But he wouldn't even register. He would remember the big stuff, the plan and this, and when he bought that car and this holiday. And I remember fucking falling out of a tree. Do you know what I mean? And I did this thing, and the little single things, and that's the same in my life. The things that saved my life were not big, singular moments.
No.
They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't a fucking white horse. They weren't the cavalry coming running over the thing to tell me how fucking great they were. It wasn't. Just genuinely what saved my life were little moments that just made me hang on for another couple of hours. Just enough belief to fucking last till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And those were the things. And those people that did the things weren't even people, sometimes they weren't even friends. They were a fucking woman in a fucking restaurant that served me, who just gave me such a nice, warm feeling that I held that like that lump of coal in my soul. And I was so down and lonely, but a complete stranger in a restaurant gave me a little bit of fucking hope.
Yeah.
And so I find it really hard. I really do believe in gratitude with stuff, and I have a massive amount of gratitude. I did not think that I was going to get to 2020. So I'm 6 years in. Like, this is bonus time for me.
Nice.
And I feel really grateful for everything I have. But I'm great. I have a lot of gratitude, not just for the people, but I have gratitude for a lot of people that to spin it, were knobs.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that at the time I hated the bad shit you did that fucked me up, but I'm so glad you did it then and didn't wait longer.
Yeah, for sure.
You showed me who you are, and I now believe it. And that's a big thing I've got, for good or for bad. You show me who you are, I fucking believe it. So if you're a thief, I want to find out you're a thief. Thank you for showing me.
As possible.
It might hurt me, but you stole from me. But I know you're a thief now. Thanks for showing me.
Yeah.
If you're a snake, if you're a liar, if you deceive people, thank you for showing me. And so I actually have gratitude for the bad stuff as much as the stuff, because I'm like, if you've got a thief in your life and they keep stealing from you and you don't know, you lose more.
For sure.
And for me, so when people fuck with me, when people lie, when people deceive, when people make up stuff, it does hurt, of course. But I have gratitude for the negative, because when you get rid of that person, it opens up a space for someone else.
Yeah.
And if you don't fill it with someone else, you can fill that space with anything of your design.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm not even going to learn to kite surf this year. I've got a bit of space in my life. Now, could I fill that with another great friend? Sure. But because I didn't have someone I wanted to put in that space to spend that time or do that hobby, go and find a fucking hobby.
Yeah.
Go and do kite surfing.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so by then, when that happens, I have gratitude for that. So yes, Rachel has been absolutely instrumental in everything that's happened. And there's been loads of people on Charlie. People like Ali and Dean and Ricky and all these people. I mean, they've been great in the little moments of what they've done. But I genuinely think throughout the process, there has been 100 small pebbles that built up the wall that actually helped me to be who I am.
You can't make a crumb cake without crumbs, is my favourite
100%.
phrase. So yeah, loads of crumbs make a crumb cake. Well, look, Dave, we're really grateful for you joining us here.
Thanks,
today. We really appreciate you jumping on.
Pleasure, mate.
Thanks for being my co-host again, Ross. I always enjoy you being here. And to you guys, get online, give us some feedback. We love hearing it, good and bad. Like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and we will see you for episode 5 in a couple of weeks.